Mighty Number 9 was poised to be the next great Mega Man-like game. When the game was being kickstarted, that's basically what the pitch was. Keiji Inafune, the creator of Mega Man, was involved, if not spearheading, the efforts to make Mighty Number 9. At the time, Capcom wasn't really doing anything with Mega Man at all. Mega Man 11 wasn't coming out, and Mighty Number 9 was the next best thing that everybody was hoping for. But Mighty Number 9 did not scratch that itch. It was not well received, and Mega Man fans just really weren't that into it. But is it true that Mighty Number 9 has nothing redeeming about it, that it's not that good, even though it's by the creator of Mega Man? In this video, we're going to talk about why Mighty Number 9 really wasn't that great, and some things that it did really well that maybe could be translated to a Mighty Number 10, although I'm not sure if that's how the numbering works in this game. And don't forget, if you want to hop around this video and see what each chapter is like, I've laid them out in the description below. Mega Man's one of my favorite series. I've been playing it my whole life. I would always rent it on the Nintendo. I never actually owned more than one Mega Man game until I got the Nintendo 3DS, at which time I wound up buying Mega Man 1 through 6, and I made it a point to play through those games. I really just could not get through life until then to play through Mega Man 1 through 6. So I figure who better to find any nuggets of goodness that's in Mighty Number 9, since the game so badly wants to be Mega Man, and it's by Mega Man's creator as well. Unfortunately, that means we have to get through some of the bad before we can talk about most of the good. And the first thing that really wasn't that great about Mighty Number 9 is the level design. Where Mega Man teaches the player how to move forward by showing small versions of obstacles that'll show up later, Mighty Number 9 is more of a mad dash through a very poorly laid out obstacle course. Enemy placement feels more like a trick rather than something to block you and make you think, how do I get around this without dying? And ultimately, it just didn't feel that good to get through levels, especially given their length. As the Mega Man X series continued, levels wound up getting longer and longer, and wouldn't you know it, the older, or I should say the newer Mega Man X games aren't as favored as the older ones. But in Mighty Number 9, the first game in its series, the levels are already very long, so once you get to the boss, you kind of have to hope that you have enough lives to fight them and learn their patterns and win. I can't say that I felt excited to jump back into a level after getting beaten by a boss. These bosses have very particular patterns, and of course they're learnable, but if you lose a lot during your levels and then die once against the boss, it's all the way back to the beginning. And that's kind of punishing, especially since you didn't really get a chance to learn what the boss does, because your lives are probably depleted by the time you meet it.
Local boss at large. Update, found him. What a fight! Did we get all that on tape? Please tell me we got all that.
And while we're talking about combat, we have to talk about one of the main features that gives Mighty Number 9 its own thing to stand out with. After you weaken an enemy enough, they turn a certain color and then you dash through them to absorb their powers. Depending on what color the enemy turned, that gives you a small buff, whether it be damage or speed or damage resistance. And I'm sure a few other things, but I'll be honest, I didn't really understand how the buffs worked, only until maybe halfway through my session. But anyway, you use these buffs to move through the level and attack enemies with more efficiency, unless you, of course, die fighting them or time runs out on your buff. And something about that just didn't feel very rewarding to do. Sure, I'm getting scored and it's telling me great job and all these great things, giving me a buff, but maybe if these enemies would have healed me, it might have felt a little better, it might have felt a little more rewarding, because as I said, these levels are punishing, and if you die a lot from fighting these enemies, it'd be nice if some of them gave you some life back in the process. But anyway, this absorption feature made Mighty Number 9 more about the movement and less about fighting these robots in an efficient way that makes sense. So it could be that I'm just missing the point of Mighty Number 9. That could very well be the case, but I can't help but think of Mega Man when I play this game. So there's no chance that I'm not gonna compare it to Mega Man, you know what I mean? But this game isn't without its merits, so let's talk about a few things that I actually liked about Mighty Number 9. While the voice acting can be a little annoying, this game does have some pretty cool character designs. It does feel like a Mega Man game, like I said, but in this way, it's a good thing. Of course, the presentation is kind of sullied by the voice acting. It's good voice acting, but I don't know if anybody ever really wanted there to be voice acting in a Mega Man game, and I can definitely tell you I wasn't too crazy about it in Mighty Number 9.
Not to worry, Beck. This is well within your capabilities.
Maybe there's something nostalgic about it. I know that Mega Man X4 has that one iconic scene with Zero and...
Iris! 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 Ah! No, this isn't happening! There's no reason for me to go on. What am I fighting for?
And that brings us to the last thing I liked about this game, which is the gratification I got from beating that one boss. Now, I'm sure I could spend more time with this game and figure out what the boss's weaknesses are and destroy them entirely. But I will say that the one time I did actually win against the boss, felt nice. I got a nice, cool, rewarding power that was very reminiscent of what the boss did to make my life a living heck. Fighting the boss and then winning felt good when I could actually fight the boss. Again, it's very hard to determine what bosses are really fightable. I didn't feel like looking up a list. I know I could have done that, but where's the fun in looking up a strategy guide for a game that I just want to play? On the other hand, I would have known who to fight first, and maybe I would have had a bit of time with Mighty Number 9. So what do you think of this? How do you feel about Mighty Number 9? Did this game fulfill your needs as a Mega Man fan, or were you just left wanting more? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to talk about it. If you liked the video, do me a favor and like it. If you want to subscribe to this channel, that'd be even better. But one of the best ways you can support me is by sharing this video with somebody who loves Mega Man and was kind of curious about Mighty Number 9 from the perspective of somebody else who loves Mega Man. And this game was actually a suggestion from Matt on Twitter, so thanks Matt for suggesting this game. And if you'd like to suggest a game, do me a favor and tweet at me. It's at DanoMac. Say hi. We'll talk about video games. You'll tell me what to play. You'll tell me how my opinion on Mighty Number 9 is awesome or horrible. That's what Twitter is. And as you can see, the denovation is coming along quite smoothly. I've got my art back up, so my soul feels full. It was a little dark there for a while, but I mean, this section's not done yet, but you can't see that. And when it is done, I'll be sure to show you on all the social medias. But I'm so excited. This room is starting to really feel like my zone, my creative space. My brain can expand and fill these walls, and I'm excited to share with you all the things that comes up with. And on that note, I will see you in the next video, and thank you again for watching. Bonus thing about Mighty Number 9 that might have helped me like it more. This game has no charge function that I unlocked anyway from the get-go. So it's like an old Mega Man game, but it plays like a Mega Man X. I would have probably loved this game if there was a, Mighty Buster or whatever.